Hi guys, hope you're well, and I'm going to be talking about why the Seamaster is better than the Rolex. And this video is as much for me as it is for you, and I'm trying to convince myself as much as the next man. So just to put a bit of perspective on this video, in the last 4 or 5 years I've owned 2 Rolex Submariners, a day and a no day, and then I've owned 2 of the new Seamasters, the black dial and this absolutely sexy white dial, and then the last generation I've owned 3 Seamasters. Both of the watches have come on leaps and bounds technology wise, size wise have changed as well in the last few years. My 5 reasons, as I say, I'm almost convincing myself on this one, but I think I'm right. I think these things, I mean, don't get me wrong, there'll be a ton of reasons why Rolex Submariner is better than the Seamaster, but my 5 reasons why the Seamaster is better, I hope you agree. And the first one, dead obvious, is availability. You just can't get a Rolex Submariner for love nor money unless you want to pay through the roof or wait a lifetime. In theory, you could buy a Seamaster today and get it delivered tomorrow. You could walk into a shop and pick any variant you want. So accessibility, availability is massive. I could enjoy this Seamaster for the next 5 years, go on a waiting list on day one and buy a Seamaster on day one, and 5 years later, I'm still waiting for that Submariner. Where's the joy in that? Where's the fun in that? Having something that's hard to get and unaccessible to a certain degree is sexy and alluring. It makes the watch a better watch, in a theory, doesn't it? But the truth is, when it's so unobtainable and it takes so long, it just completely sucks the joy and the life out of it, especially if you're a watch addict, especially if you love your watches, changing them out like I do. The thought of just waiting endlessly for a watch, that section has become just a massive pain in the ass and it's not enjoyable anymore. So availability is massive. Number 2 is variety. Now, variety, you can have the blue dial, the black dial, the white dial, and they all cost the same money. With Rolex, yes, you can get the Starbucks, the green version, or the blue dial, but they're super expensive, even more harder to get hold of. And they're a bit plain Jane, are the Rolex Submariners in all truth. Whereas the Seamaster, with the anti-reflective coating, they are sexier to look at. The black dial especially is oh la la. Very, very attractive watches. And as I say, I got the white dial, and it's stunning to look at up close and personal. I've previously owned the black dial, but for me, the white is the favourite. But if you don't like that, as I say, variety is the spice of life. You've now got the green dial as well, which is not to everybody's taste, but you know, the green, blue, black, white and black, grey and blue. Then you've got the two-tone versions with the gold bezels. Then you've got the solid gold versions. Then you've got the blacked out versions. There's just a ton of options out there. If you like the Seamaster, you can find one that will like you. I've touched on it already, but the third point is looks. Totally subjective. I could be totally wrong, but in my eyes, actually, face value, take the brands away, and you're just looking at 2 watches. The Seamaster is a very attractive, sexy looking watch. And don't get me wrong, it's got flaws. You know, I could go into why the Submariner is 5 reasons why the Submariner is better than the Seamaster. It's a good looking watch. Now, you could argue the helium escape valve, blah, 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 but get them up close and personal, and I think the Seamaster edges it. It's a better looking watch. The 4th one is appearance. Now, what I mean by that, you could argue, yeah, when you look at them up close and personal, but also if you see someone wearing a Omega and someone seeing a Rolex, if you see that person in the wrong situation or wearing the wrong outfit, or you might think that Rolex is a fake, and there's always that, not aura, but you know, that cloud over a Rolex Submariner that it could be fake. And the more likely than not, if you're wearing one, someone's going to say, is that real, before they say, where did you get it from? Just the way of the world. There's so many Rolex Submariners out there, but there's also so many fakes. And there'll be fake Omegas, but I've never seen someone wearing an Omega thinking, that might be fake. It just doesn't happen. And the last one for me, which means that the Seamaster 100% could be an all-day, everyday watch in so many different situations. You could argue the Submariner as well, but for me, the Seamaster, it's the versatility. I think it just makes it an all-day, everyday watch in every situation. It goes fantastic on NATO straps. I've got an Omega NATO strap, which just perfectly goes with the watch, but it goes with other colour NATOs as well. Leather straps on a dive watch. You could argue it works. It might not be for you, but again, the Seamaster's got a better chance of working in that situation than the Submariner has. Then you've got, obviously, the rubber straps, this Zealand one here, all the different colours. It works well. And you can get rubber straps for the Rolex Submariner, but ultimately, the Rolex Submariner is best on the bracelet. And if you take it off, it loses a little something for me, where that's not the case with the Seamaster. So that's my 5 points, guys. Do you agree? Do you think that's right? Availability, variety, looks, the appearance, and versatility. That's it, guys. 5 points why my Seamaster is better than any Rolex Submariner. I've nearly convinced myself.